Hey everybody, Brantley here with Big Idea Design. Just wanted to come to you and give you a quick overview on the maintenance and just kind of how to use your TI utility knife. So first of all, if you are watching this video, you have more than likely either picked one up or are interested in picking one up. So we just want to say thank you for your support, and we really appreciate you looking into this, and we thank you for supporting our company. And so yeah, let's dive right in. So the TI utility knife is a frame lock flipper utility knife. There's really only a couple things we're going to go over. So the first thing would be to how to change your blade. So it is just pressure fit with this button right here. So there's essentially a locking mechanism that goes in between the teeth on a blade. This can use either 2 or 4-tooth utility blades. So there's just a little button that goes inside of there that locks it into place. With your right hand, you want the blade facing down, and you just want to hold the scales. You don't want to hold the actual blade holder. And so that little button, you're going to push it away from you. So you're pushing straight across. I don't know if you can see it in the top down there. But so all you're doing is pushing those two blades slightly apart just to get that to slide through. So again, you're holding it just by the scales and you're pushing away from you on the button. And it'll snap into place. If you're left-handed like me, hold it with the blade facing up. That way you can push on it there. Same thing. You're just pushing that button away from you. It'll snap into place when it's ready. If you ever need to lubricate your TI utility knife, simply take some lube. We use Super Lube. This is what we assembled all of them with. Really, really nice. Right there on the pivot as it's closed is the best place to apply some oil. And so you can just squeeze a little bit on either side. There's 2 ball bearings there, and just kind of work it in. If you were to need to disassemble your knife to clean it, it's going to need 2 tools. You're going to need a T10 screwdriver, potentially 2 depending on how tight your pivot is. There's a T10 on either side of the scales on the pivot screw. This one I've already loosened a little bit. Again, it's a T10. That pivot screw will come right out. And then on the rear that holds your pocket clip down, that is a T6. That screw comes out. The rear plate pops off. The pocket clip comes along with it. And then the 2 scales separate. You're going to have 1 ball bearing, then the utility holder, and then you'll have another ball bearing. There are 3 pins total. One of which goes right here at the pivot. And that's actually what holds the utility blade holder in place, kind of gives it its stop. And then you'll have 2 pins on this rear piece, which has your lanyard hole, but it also holds your pocket clip. That's all your pieces disassembled. Let's put it back together. So first we're going to take the scale that has the tension bar. And if you did need to adjust your tension bar, now would be the time to do it. If you need it a little bit tighter, simply hold it and push it in. If it's a little stiff, go the opposite direction and push it out. You can kind of adjust that tension as needed. Then you're going to take the Chicago screw that is going through the scales. This does have a flat spot, sort of a D shape. And there is on the tension bar side of the scale, there is a slight notch that will get that in the right position. So that side goes there. Holding that with my finger, I'm going to take my first ball bearing, and you're going to go exposed roller ball down. Then we need 1 of the pins, and that's going to go, there's the lock. Then we're going to take the blade holder. Then the next ball bearing, exposed ball side up this way. So the balls that are exposed are going to go against the scales. Okay, now we're going to assemble the back. Going to take your 2 pins. Go straight in just like that through the holes. Lanyard side goes towards the top of the spine. Then we're going to take our other scale. All those pins will line up. And then I like to hold that rear Chicago screw with my finger. Take that. Just kind of get that into place. I'm going to take my T10, I like to reverse thread just to make sure I'm not going to cross it. There it is. Let's go ahead and put our rear plate on. We're going to put the pocket clip back on in the original position on the same side as the frame lock. And just T6 down the center. At this point, if you want to adjust the tension of the flip, you can either tighten or loosen the pivot screw. Okay. I personally like a little more tension on it, so I really have to fling it open, but also a little more security that way. That way it's not going to just open up in your pocket. Again, if you need a little more lubrication, right there on the ball bearing. And there you go. So that's how you disassemble and reassemble your TI utility knife. Hopefully that answers any questions you have. If you need anything else, please reach out to us at support@bigidesign.com. Be glad to help you out. Thanks again.